Eagles nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. He'll fire it deep for Rager. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Davion Taylor gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. After the sack on first down, Mahomes. Now a swing pass. It's Edwards-Helaire. A 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looking to throw is Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Butker's kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit...
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
At their own 25-yard line.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
On 2nd and a couple. Hurts. That swung out wide to Sanders. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This defense for the Chiefs, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They've been off to the races already, a 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
From the 17, Mahomes. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And, Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Here comes Edwards-Helaire on the toss right. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. Mahomes going to throw. And going deep for Hill. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, just stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 49. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Room to run at the 50. And he'll go out of bounds, but not before reaching the opposite 35.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
They'll run on 1st down. Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Hurts to throw. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Able to convert on 3rd and 14, a terrific play call. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Being chased out left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time. And I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing is Hurts. Going deep here for Watkins. And got his man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
On 1st down, it's Sanders. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They go play fake. Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he will have a Chiefs first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire. A first down and more for Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his offseason working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
Mahomes firing complete and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Edwards-Helaire on the counter. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And they'll get him down right about the 20.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your line set the edge.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And this is caught at the 8. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Harrison Butker for the Chiefs field goal.
Rutgers kick here is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
You ain't going nowhere.
Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
A quick throw into the hands of Rager. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 47-yard line.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They go play action with Hurts. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 82 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Escaping the pressure right. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. Tough end to that play. He had his eyes on that first down marker, but he lost his luggage along the way.
Left it behind, so to speak. I like your analogy there, but here's the key. As he's maneuvering, as he's picking up the first down, as he's gaining yardage, what's the one thing he forgot about?
Ball security.
Exactly. Everything else working perfectly, and he forgot the most.
Hurts fumbles it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Now back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Let's go. 19 Lions. Mike, number 53.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Watch the run. Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Jalen Hurts, not a terribly big fella at 6'1", but his arms got plenty of life to it, and that was a thing of beauty there.
And give him credit. He deserves it. But this is such a breakdown defensively, my goodness. From a pass rush perspective, you know that they got to be coming hard on 4th down trying to get to the quarterback. But from a coverage perspective, how do you not see that play developing? And it turns into a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here's Mecole Hardman. And he returns this to the 22. And they will take a knee here. In the win column for Kansas City, and it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Kansas City, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Eagles,